What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be my system corruption tank build. There's been a lot of anticipation for this build. I mentioned it a little over a month ago, but then this build, I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's M1A based. So whenever the whole nerf and then reverted nerf and then PvP nerf for the M1A was going through, I decided to just scrap all the footage I had of this build because it was M1A based. And if they were going to nerf it into the ground, I wasn't going to sit there and try to showcase it. And then come to find out, they reverted it, and then by the time they did that, I was already working on other builds, but I have heard you guys in the chat and in the comment sections, and here it is. This is my system corruption tank build. I will have gameplay at the end of this video, just so you know. I use this for PVE. I have not used this in PvP. I use this in PVE. This is one of the most sustainable builds I've ever made, and it is really, really hard to, go down. It's all the way around. It's a great build. I wouldn't change anything about this build. Yeah, so let's start off with the specialization. It is the Demolitionist specialization. I use that for the burn resistance. I use it because all of the players on my team get extra damage to targets out of cover. I use it for the 7% laser pointer attachment. And I also use it because I like using the grenade launcher. It's really easy to use and it does a lot of damage. For example, right there you can see this one does 2.5 million damage. So that's why I do that. I use the concussion grenade over the frag grenade because the frag grenade only does, 437,000 damage, and that's with 6 that you can hold. This one does 1.5 million and you can hold 7. So it's a no-brainer, use the concussion grenade. Now for the weapons, I am using, like I said, the Baker's Dozen. This is the named M1A. You do not have to use the Baker's Dozen. You can use a normal M1A with Ranger, Strained, Optimist, it doesn't matter, whatever you want. But for me, I'm using the Baker's Dozen. For my secondary, I'm using the Eagle Bearer. And then for my sidearm, I am using the backup boomstick. Starting with the Baker's Dozen. This one is at 329.1k. That is with only 3 reds total on this build. I have 13 blues, 3 reds, and 1 yellow. So, like I said, 329.1k total damage with 15% rifle damage, 17% crit damage, and 6 damage to armor. Baker's Dozen comes with perfect lucky shot, so I get more ammo in my magazine, and if I am shooting from cover and I miss a shot, it automatically gets put back into my magazine. Really nice, because if you're not behind the shield, you're going to be in cover. I'll explain exactly how to use this build here in a second. Now for the attachments, rugged mini reflex sight, 5% crit chance, and then that laser pointer from the Demolitionist specialization, 7% crit chance right there. And then for the magazine, I'm using the tightly packed magazine. And with that and the perfect lucky shot, I get 19 rounds per magazine. Secondary, Eagle Bearer. This one's level 40. The only maxed out attribute I have is the AR damage at 15%. And then I've got the health damage at 19.5 and then headshot damage at 9. This one has 67.1k total damage, and like I said, I'm not really spec'd into reds at all, but it's a great secondary to have. And then for the sidearm, backup boomstick. Nothing too crazy about this. If I get backed into a corner or something and I'm trying to reload, instead of doing that, I just switch to this, take out whatever enemies in front of me, and then go back to reloading whatever weapon I was using. This one has a total damage of 781.9k damage with 16% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, and 9% damage to targets at a cover. So, like I was saying earlier, I use the M1A, or in this case, the Baker's Dozen. I use it 99% of the time I'm using this build. With some of the gameplay, you might see that I might be reloading or something, and then an enemy rushes me, so I switch to weapons. But besides that, I'm using the M1A the whole time. Now, how I use this build. I use this build with the Crusader Shield. I use the Crusader Shield with the M1A, and then upon the breaking of the shield, if the shield ever does break, I pop my medkit. And right there you can see how this out-tanks pretty much anything. You get the 100% bonus armor whenever you use your medkit from the System Corruption. I also have the Perfect Vanguard from my chest piece. So every time I deploy my shield, it's invulnerable for 5 seconds, and everyone on my team gets 50% of my armor as bonus armor. You can see I'm near 2 million armor. So everyone on my team is getting nearly 1 million armor every time I whip out this shield. Of course, the cooldown is 25 seconds, but you get that bonus armor for 20 seconds. So 5 seconds, it's normal. Then I pop the shield back out again. Everyone gets all that armor. This is a great team support build. It's a great solo tank build. I just like using it overall. I've used this for control points, missions, speed runs. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can be the tank and have everyone DPS around you, and you could be the bullet sponge while they are all dying from your teammates. It's a really, really fun build to use. You can use this in PVE. I use it in PVE. I haven't even shown you guys my System Corruption PvP build yet, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on this gear set. It's not the best gear set in the world, but it is fun to use. So I use the Crusader Shield with my M1A. You can also use the Eagle Bearer with it. It doesn't matter. My other skill, I use the Reviver Hive, and that is so I can help pick up whatever teammates. I am the bullet sponge, but I am also the guy that picks up people. The Reviver Hive is really easy to use, and you can pick it up, throw it out again. You can pick up multiple people with the same hive. Now back to the build. Overall, you guys can see I'm using 4 System Corruption. I'm using the Point Man chest piece, which is the named Gilligard chest piece with Perfect Vanguard. And I am using the Forge. It is the named Richter and Kaiser holster. This one has 10% shield health as an attribute. And obviously I'm using the shield, so it helps out. Alright, so before I actually talk about the attributes of each set and everything, let's talk about the gear set bonuses and talents that I am using. Now, I said previously I'm using 4-piece System Corruption. With that being said, here are the gear set bonuses. Using 2 pieces, I get 15% armor on kill. Using 3 pieces, I have Disrupt and Pulse resistance of 40%. And then using the 4-piece, I get the talent Hack Step Protocol. It replaces your armor kits with an instant, infinite use ability on a 20-second cooldown. It grants you 50% bonus armor, and it hides your nameplate for 5 seconds. Now, obviously, the hiding of the nameplate is PvP. We don't care about that. What we care about is it's an infinite use, it's only on cooldown every 20 seconds, and you get 50% bonus armor. Now, what's cool about the backpack is, remember, backpacks and chest pieces hold additional talent that amplifies your gear set bonus. So this one comes with multi-threaded execution. It increases your hack step protocol's bonus armor from 50% to 100%. So if I scroll up a little bit, you can see at top right, hack step protocol. So instead of getting 50% bonus armor, now I get 100% bonus armor. So the way this works is I use my Crusader shield, which is at 4.9 million health. So I use my Crusader shield with my M1A. The NPCs are shooting me and it's messing up my 4.9 million health shield. When I see that that shield is not regenerating fast enough and they're about to break it, then I hit my med kit. And all of a sudden, because of this backpack, I get 100% bonus armor. Now, that is good for, that has a 20-second cooldown. My shield has a 25-second cooldown for Perfect Vanguard. Now remember, Perfect Vanguard, every time I pull out my shield, I'm invulnerable for 5 seconds. And everyone on my team gets all that bonus armor. So the way this works is you enter a room full of enemies, you pull out your shield as soon as you get close to the first enemy. You pull out your shield, everyone else on your team gets all that bonus armor. You are invulnerable for 5 seconds, and you're using the M1A. So this is a win-win-win. Your teammates are getting a buff, you are basically invulnerable, and when you're not invulnerable, you have all this health and armor to go through before they can actually get you down. Because they have to go through the Crusader shield, which is tier 6, and then I pop that medi, they're going to have to go through the 100% bonus armor, and then go through my 1.9 million armor. So you can see it's just a lot to go through. It's a tank. This is a true tank, I'm telling you. Now, that is the system corruption gear set bonuses. For the point man, like I said, it comes with that Perfect Vanguard. So deploying the shield makes it invulnerable for 5 seconds, grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all of your allies. And then the Richter and Kaiser for the shield health. Now that I've explained that, let's actually talk about these. Starting off with the mask, System Corruption Mask. This one came with health at 15,342, and then I rolled on there maxed out armor. It had a red mod slot, so I threw on there the biggest crit chance mod I could at 5.4%. System Corruption Backpack, again, I rolled armor, so it's maxed out at 170. This one came with hazard protection at 7.3%. And then for the blue mod slot, I went with armor on kill. So 17,704 armor on kill. For the gloves, 170% or 170,000 armor again, and then this one came with 5.9 crit chance. Going with the chest piece, remember it's Gilligard, so I get 5% total armor as a brand set bonus. I rolled 170,000 armor. It came with explosive resistance at 5.9% and armor regeneration at 3,095. Has a blue mod, so I went with more armor on kill. Going to the Richter and Kaiser. The Richter and Kaiser brand set bonus, I get 15% incoming repairs. The core attribute, I rolled armor again at 170,000. The attributes, like I said before, shield health at 10%, and then also crit chance at 3.7%. And finally, the knee pads, System Corruption. These came with health at 15,982, and then again I rolled armor on there at 170,000. We already went over the skills. You guys can choose, mix and match, whatever you want, but for this, the shield really works well with the M1A, and then the Reviver Hive is clutch for all those teammates that go down. Really easy to pick them up. Now, finishing off with the stat sheet. Alright, these are the weapon stats for my Baker's Dozen. 329,084 weapon damage with 30% crit chance and 42% crit damage. Also has 60% headshot damage and 6% damage to armor. Go to the offensive tab. I have 10% weapon damage bonus and 30% rifle damage bonus. So altogether I have 40% damage bonus for my Baker's Dozen. Go to the defensive tab. 1,874,899 armor with 315,000 armor on kill, 3,095 armor regeneration, and 311,044 health. I have 15% incoming repairs with 90% pulse resistance, 5.9% explosive resistance, and 13.7 hazard protection. I have 4.2% skill haste on this build for my hive and for my shield. And that is it, you guys. This is the System Corruption tank build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Man, it really can out-tank anything right now. The only thing I would say is on legendaries, the M1A is not doing a lot of damage, and that's upsetting. So I'd probably switch one or two of these blues for some reds just to try to get a little bit more oomph if you're going against those heroics and legendaries. Challenging, this is a cakewalk. You could solo anything. Probably same with heroic and legendaries if you're nasty, but I don't think I'm that nasty to start soloing heroics and legendaries. But alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave you with some gameplay. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Remember, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
An agent needs assistance. An agent needs assistance. Agent down. An agent needs assistance.
Kill my friend, I kill you!
Give him an earpiece and get him on comms.